Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Champion Living Podcast, coming to you live from Mattress Firm Arena and Resorts World. Got to thank our two biggest fans over there that showed up this morning to watch us. But on a real note, we have an awesome guest on today's show, Andres, also known as Sasquatch. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just getting my full 8 hours of sleep, so it feels good in Vegas.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so you're here competing in the bullfighting only for the world title, right?
Yes, sir.
Um, what Well, first of all, let's get into how you actually got into bullfighting. I mean, this is an adrenaline-packed sport. I think all of us kind of have that urge to do adrenaline-filled things. We ride bucking horses, bulls. You step in front of them and save cowboys, and also put on a really cool act. So, how does a guy get into this?
Man, with me, it was like a family thing. For the Mexican side, we buy fighting bulls and we do the team roping, and whoever could, knock them down the fastest. That's how you get like points. But over there, it's like a jackpot.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
so my uncle, that was my dad figure, since my dad passed away at such a young age,
Mhm.
he would ride them, and he would make me step around them. That's just how I kind of started. But like he was always my hero, and I tried riding bulls, but I was always too husky. So man, once they started spinning, I was flying off them bulls. And then after that, we just some of my buddies were all like, "Man, you're the crazy one. You play football. I think you could get this done. Can you
Mhm.
step in there for us? We don't got a fighter today." And it was an actual show, so I kind of just went to Walmart, bought me a Batman jersey, and I was like, "All right, let's do this." I was like, "I want to feel
Uh,
like a superhero." So
that's awesome,
went
dude.
out there, got taken out the second bull, and I was like, "Yep, this is for me. I like my feet on the ground."
Oh man, that's so awesome. And so I see you doing a lot of like Mexican rodeos and things like that. How does that differ from, fighting a professional rodeo or even an American amateur rodeo?
Yeah, it's different because over there, maybe that's what even makes me pretty good at freestyle. Over there, you got to dodge ropes, you got to dodge spurs, you got to dodge, man, you got to dodge a lot of things, not
Yeah.
just the bull. So it's kind of that's like the hassle. Sometimes it kind of looks like a shit show just because there's so many people in the arena in the
hmm
Mexican deals.
hmm
But just like they're just all buddies and there's no rules over there. They just all try helping each other out. Once they see one in danger. But then I mean, that's like the main different thing. Like, there's actually people in the arena, not just the bullfighters,
hmm
I would say. And then, well, obviously the Spurs, they use those dang little like hooks type of
They're
thing that
actually
get
into them,
just on
yeah.
their skin.
hmm
And yeah, that's why they ride with no hands sometimes. You over here see them doing no hands, and I'm like, damn, get it, boy.
Oh man, that's super cool. We love watching all your stuff on socials and all of
Yeah.
your videos you're putting up from there, man. It's super cool. Uh, we talk about BFO, this title. Hui has started something really, really incredible with BFO, and this started a while back. What has this meant, like the transition to a stage like this, to be able to be on a stage and perform for a title like this? Like, what does that mean to you and for the sport of bullfighting?
Man, to me, it means the world because I remember when I was still in high school, still getting into the bullfighting side, I was watching Chuck Swisher, all these guys when they first started BFO,
Yeah.
and I was just like, man, that looks so badass, but I'm never freestyling. I was such a like chicken shit about it,
Yeah.
like I was just like, I'm not doing no freestyle. I'm just doing protection. I like to I like to make sure I'm at least doing it for a reason, not just to try to avoid the bull. And and then next thing you know, just like, we, thank God it just exploded right there. I was just like, well, I got to do it somehow.
Yeah.
I was just like, get it over with. And yeah, BFO changed the whole game. It was like a dream come true when they finally invited me. And then for me, it was like the first Mexicans. I was like, yeah, let's go Mexico. We're in this now. Like, and then slowly they started calling guys even from the other side of the border. So it was pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
opened the doors for a lot of the guys too, and so they could come out here and do what they love.
Absolutely, man. I mean, yeah, talk about game changing and open the doors for so many people to be able to come over here and do this. You talked about you being a protection bullfighter initially and
Yeah.
not really wanting to make that transition over. So when you did, what, if there were any, like things that carried over from a protection match to freestyle? Is there any skills that you took with you that make you a better freestyle bullfighter, or are you having to learn new tactics for both
Uh,
sides?
I mean, I guess I've always been like an aggressive bullfighter, so I just kind of just stuck to that. Like when I first started freestyling, I would get mad and like get up and punch the bull, like come on, keep coming, because I'll get so pissed just because I don't know, just like an adrenaline thing.
Hmm.
Being I've always been like an aggressive bullfighter, so I feel like that's what has always helped me in this like game. You
Hmm.
know, like because there's a lot of people once they get hit, they're like, yeah, I don't want to bullfight no more, like type of thing, you know. And then there's some guys that will be like, yeah, I like the freestyle side because you're just dodging them the whole time, you know. Over there in the protection side, you for sure got to take the hit. You got to just sit there sometimes, just fuck, you know,
Yeah.
like, and yeah, so that's something cool about it. I guess the difference, like,
Yeah. And I wouldn't want to do that. Straight up, I would not be a bullfighter. I'm not man enough for it.
Well, you said earlier too, like how the working the Mexican bull rides and stuff. Like a lot of times you're on your own, as the bullfighter. There's other guys in the arena, with ropes and stuff, but like you're on your own. And so with freestyle, you're on your own in the arena. It's just you and the bull. So I would imagine a lot like how guys that ride bulls and bareback horses, they tend to say that the bareback helps slow down the bull riding.
Hmm.
Do you think that working the Mexican style bull ridings helps you slow down your freestyle game?
yeah, man, like I think it does a lot because in obviously like how you say it, I fight alone in the Mexican deals, so if there's a lot of guys that get knocked out at these Mexican deals because they're obviously hooked on this bull. So if
Hmm.
this bull just makes them come down, a lot of these guys get knocked out. So I guess that's what made freestyle easier for me because when I started doing protection and all these guys would get knocked out, I would have to freestyle this bull even. Sometimes I'd be getting hooked on this fence, but I'll be like, "Is he out? Yeah, is he out? Like I'm over here. I got the bull. Just get him out of here, like
Yeah.
type of thing." So like, I guess that really helped me a lot. So when I got came into the freestyle game, like I knew at least what I was getting myself into instead of just walking in here saying, "Oh shit, these bulls are way faster compared to these bucking bulls that kick before they come," you know?
Absolutely, man. It's awesome what you're doing and the transition that is made from each event and each, culture of rodeo is really, really awesome to see. So, congratulations on making your first BFO, by the way.
Thank you.
Is this your
Yeah.
first one? Your first
At
world title?
Resorts World, yeah.
Okay.
At Resorts
Awesome.
World, yep.
Awesome. Well, I want to talk about the mental and physical strategies that go into preparing for something like this and getting through a competitive season
Yeah.
as a freestyle bullfighter. It requires a lot of athleticism and a lot of different things that you need to be strong at in order to be successful in the sport. What does your training look like physically first, and then we'll get into the mental prep?
Oh man, physically, I feel like,
Are you training every day? You going to the
yeah.
gym? Like, what's that look like?
Yeah, I usually go every day. There'll be some weeks I'll take like 2 days off, maybe just a little couple rest days, 3 days. But I go to the gym usually every day. I try to get in there, even if it's just a run sometimes.
Hmm.
I was like, I try to thanks to Paul, like I used to not stretch as much, and thanks to him, now I got my hips feeling like
Hmm.
my age actually, you know? I was just like, cause man, and that's that I like to dance, so I would always be moving my hips, but man, they were so tight until I
Yeah.
started with you guys, so that helped me a lot. So, and like, I guess working out every day helps me too. Like, and mostly ever since not kissing ass, but started with you guys, made me feel a lot confident more in
Hmm.
the arena. You know, like before I used to just get on the squat rack. Oh, I'm doing this and that, and it's just like it wasn't really like helping me like how you guys say. It was making me more explosive maybe and
Hmm.
stuff like that, but it wasn't helping me exactly for what I needed it for. You know.
Absolutely.
And now it's like I actually feel like I'm doing the right stuff, and when I'm out there, I feel like all right, where's the other one? I'm ready for short goal right now. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel good. Like, I
That's
feel the
awesome,
most confident I've been. And yeah, I sobered up too. So I've been 6 months sober and I
man.
feel great. I'm ready for my bull tomorrow.
That's awesome, dude. That's huge. And just hearing about your journey right there, everything starts to fall in the line. You start to feel the success from exercise, from putting the work in, and all of a sudden you're like, man, I don't. These drinks don't really help me.
Yeah,
Like I can have a couple beers, yeah, but is it really getting me closer to my goal? No, it's not. And that's something you figured out on your own. We
yeah,
weren't sitting here as coaches being like, you can't drink because that's not what we do. We let you figure out those things on your own, and you get to see how you feel based off of what
yeah,
you're doing to your own body. And so you realize getting to train regularly, consistently, and training smarter rather than harder, right?
yeah,
Any exercise is good. You going in there and doing back squats, not knowing any different, is good. but there's just better ways we can do it, right?
Yeah.
So Paul being able to set up a program for you, focusing on, I know you guys are probably working on footwork, change of direction, increasing that strength with some resistance training, and then like you're saying, working on that mobility. It's a full circumference thing. You have to train every little piece of the puzzle to get that full
Yeah,
puzzle, right?
and like you said, I used to just think me throwing 3 plates on the squat was I was doing. I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready to fight whatever bull that comes to me, but I wasn't really prepared, like you saying, compared to doing these change of directions and the mobility. And now I feel like $1 million for sure, you know?
That is awesome, man. Let's talk about your year with BFO this
Okay.
year. Do you have a favorite fight that you went through, or a favorite
Uh,
event that you won, or anything
Well,
like that?
this year, honestly, I'm barely starting to come back to freestyle. I was 2 years gone, honestly, ever since I had my kids.
Hmm.
Kind of like how you say it's a mental game too. So once I had my babies, I was fighting my head with the freestyle game because right before I finished, Hugh Hefner kind of fucked me up. Like he got a hold of me. I broke my arm. I got a hole in my back. I got a bunch of staples in my head. Like I just thank God I'm still here because that bull got a hold of me. And I mean that would be probably even anybody that has been around VFL. That would probably be my main fight to even talk about. Like because this year I only fought two BFOs and those were the last two.
Hmm.
And thank God I did good. That made me advance to here.
Hmm.
But yeah, I wasn't too like the whole year I wasn't around with them, but everybody knows the Hugh Hefner fight here in Vegas. But
Hmm.
when it was in Tropicana, still not the Resorts World.
Right.
That was my electric fight.
That sounds really intense. I did not get to see that, unfortunately, or
Oh,
maybe fortunately, I don't know. Uh, but that's a huge thing to come back from. That's a huge mental barrier that you're going to have to break through in
yeah,
order to show up and be successful on the other side. And I think not just in bullfighting, but in rodeo and rough stock as well, we see that happen all the time. We see guys getting hurt, and it really does mess up your game, and they don't ever come back the same. So
yeah,
what for you, was it the fear of getting hurt like that again and not being able to be there for your family?
yeah. So that happened in 2019. Then 2020, I made the finals again,
Mhm.
and that year was in Texas. And that year, I broke my leg. So that's what mentally got to me because when I broke my leg, I felt like I couldn't support my family. I wasn't financially there. I wasn't doing. I felt like just like a bum at home.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's even when I started like even trying kind of drinking hard and stuff. 'Cause I just felt like a low life even just because I felt like like there was no reason for me to be here because I wasn't doing nothing, just laying at home, just and that's what mentally got to me. So I was just like, yeah, like kind of like screw this. I'm just gonna do protection, like protection. I really don't get that like messed up.
Mhm.
And then I don't know, there was just one day I literally felt like if it was God and God talked to me and he's just like, get back out there. This year's gonna be like your year to open the door, and I'm not even lying to you. On my way over here, thank God, Frank Newsom texted me, be ready this year, you're gonna get some PBRs. And I'm like, oh shit, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was so stoked, because man, like even PBR, I think I'll be the first Mexican like cow protect, and
Mhm.
that's cool too.
Man, that's awesome. I think, man, it's not talked about enough, like the coping mechanisms that happen when you do go through an injury or do have to sit out,
Yeah.
because with rodeo athletes, this is everything I mean, when I was going, I know when Logan was going, Paul, like this is all we breathed, thought, talked,
Yes.
anything about was rodeo. And you go from 110% being rodeo to being able to do 0%. It messes with you and it
Yeah.
makes you
It's
feel
hard.
worthless, and you just don't know where to go. And I think the easy tendency is to have a coping mechanism, which is oftentimes alcohol. And I think we've all been there. So to hear you kind of go down that road and reverse it and
Yeah.
realize that, dude, this is not getting me closer to my goals. This is something I need to get out of, and you did, and you turned around 110%. And I think that, man, that would be so important for so many people to hear, because all it takes is just the little bit of determination to say, no, 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 I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep going
Yeah.
and fight through the other side. And all of a sudden we're here, and you're in Vegas and you made it, man. It's
Yeah.
super awesome. Really
Yeah,
awesome.
so that's what I just got. I always tell me and Paul, like, I don't mean to kiss ass, but thank you. If it wasn't for you guys, like, man, you guys, like Paul, like Paul never freaking really like, like he never left me alone when I was even there. He would help me like keep pushing myself. And I snapped out of that, and I even told him I've never met you in person, but man, I love you, bro. If it wasn't for you, like you were a big like help of that, you know. You champion living the whole crew.
That's the best part about what we do, I think, is like people start out as clients, but they don't end that way, right?
Yeah,
They like become family and
yeah.
friends. And I you said that you had some. How many kids do you have?
I have two.
Two kids. And
Yeah,
so what like shift, you talked about it a little bit, but did that, you've had some injuries, you've got kids, like did that, those kids, did they like deepen your why? Like
yeah,
what, how you're here? Do you think there's like a correlation between like having kids, coming back from that darkness,
yeah.
and hiring Paul, like all the things, and now here you are on, I mean, a huge stage. Like how did your family play into your success so far?
Well, honestly, like my son and everything, like when my son first, he's 3 years old and my daughter's a year old. So at first, like with my son, I was still kind of even like doing, still didn't give a fuck really. Like I was still going crazy and doing all this and that. And then we had my daughter, and that's what really like helped me calm down because right when we had my daughter, my son was diagnosed with the autism as well. So that's what helped me. Like my family was a big part of that, and I just like, oh yeah, now it's like you guys are the reason I'm doing this. Like I'm gonna show you, like, and I'm like, I'm gonna be there 110% for you. Autism isn't nothing. That just, like that just is like, a word. Like you're just as normal as anybody else. I was like, if anything, you're, an angel. You're special, like type of thing. So that's what made me like my family. My family is my everything. Like, like ever since I had my kids, I was just like, dang, I did not know dad was this cool. Like I was like, I was so scared in the beginning, and dad is just like the best thing you could have, like God could have gave me. Made me be. So that's cool.
Man, I just got chills. You saying that, and so I just I see this connection between your first time fighting in a practice pen with a superhero jersey on, and now like you are your kid's superhero. Like you are like the real deal. And man, it just fires me up, and I'm so thankful that you're here, and I'm so thankful that you let us be a part of your journey and stuff. And I'm man just gratitude to you, and I'm so thankful for the steps that we've taken that led to this. And yeah, man, I'm just fired up for you.
Nah, thank you guys for answering my text when I said, "Hey, I need help. Can you guys be my coach?"
Oh, that's awesome. You've been with Paul now a couple of years, like
Like a year and a half,
year and a
right?
half. So,
Yeah,
dude, that's a long time. Talk about your experience with having a coach. Like, has it helped you out with the accountability? I mean, obviously he gives you workouts. They appear to
yeah,
work. So,
yeah.
like, just what is your, has the investment been worth it?
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
definitely been worth it. And it like you said, it makes me more accountable because man, there's days like like anybody wakes up, you're like, man, I don't want to work out today. Like I just want to chill. And then I look at my phone, I see that the True Coach app, and I was like, man, I better get up. I'm not no little bitch. Like I was about to say, like I like that's like my like Paul right there. Like I literally like feel like Paul's like right there. Like it's time to get up and get your session in type of thing. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, come on, I'll knock it out in an hour and a half, 2 hours max. Like come on, let's get it done.
That is awesome, man. And that's what I think even with myself was, I have a coach as well. I have the same app I use as you
Yeah.
guys, and when every time I get that email that says you missed a workout,
Oh my
it
god.
hurts me.
It breaks my
Like,
heart. It
yeah,
breaks my heart. I was like, man, I'm going down instead of going up. I missed
yeah.
the workout, like type of thing.
Oh, that's funny, dude. That's great. Well, the accountability is huge, and the consistency, the work you've been putting in has obviously showed up, and
Yeah,
it's paying off. Let's talk about the reason we're here is obviously for this world title.
yeah,
What would winning a BFO world title mean to you?
man. Like I said, winning a BFO world title to me is like probably like to you guys when you guys were like doing your bucking broncs and bulls and stuff, and it's like the NFR. Like it's like winning one of these is like a dream come true. Like the world to me too. Like. So that would mean, man, and mostly for my career, I'll be like, oh gosh, I can't believe I really like accomplished this. Like, it's, it's like just a dream come true for sure. It's like winning them behind them yellow bucking shoots type of thing, but
Yeah.
just in the freestyle world over here.
What do you see that doing for, even not even just yours, but like someone who wins a BFO world title? What does that do for the trajectory of your career after that?
Uh, I mean, one for sure, you gain a lot of respect because
Yeah.
a lot of guys won't step around the fighting bull, and then for you to win the whole world. And two, I feel like it does open a lot of doors because man, a lot of people see the excitement in the freestyle side, and a lot of kids, a lot of kids love like the bullfighting, the adrenaline and stuff like that. So I feel like it opens a lot of doors because a lot of the crowd even are the ones that even kind of judge on who they want to see, you know, at the performances. And you know, like the rodeo committee see like, oh, okay, they really like this guy, we're gonna
Yep.
bring him back, like type of stuff.
Yep.
So just I feel like it opens doors as well, because there's a lot of even committees that come out here to the world finals and watch this, because it's at 1:30 and the NFR usually ain't until 6 or so. So a lot of people come out here and it opens a lot of doors. Like for me, like it's really hard to get American deals sometimes for me, and this has even opened a lot of doors, and I've gotten some deals out of here. So it's
Oh,
like
that's
it's
cool.
awesome.
That is awesome, man. Just putting you on a bigger platform, and when you're competing at the level that you are, you doors are going to be open, man. And man, I hope, really hope for you that
Yeah.
the end result is what we're talking about here this week. I think that you've definitely been working hard and have earned it. Um,
You're gonna see in the short go all champion living athletes. That's for
that's what I
sure.
like to hear. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. We've got a good handful of bullfighters that are
Yeah.
going to be competing. Man, I'm so fired up for to get started today. I want to talk a little bit about the growth of the sport of bullfighting. There, I feel like, is a whole new interest in the sport. There's a lot of people that wanted to get into bullfighting, freestyle bullfighting,
Yeah.
because of things like this that are making it cool.
Yeah, like and then, like you said, nowadays I feel like there's a lot of guys coming into the freestyle world that like aren't really even cowboys. They're more athletes.
Athletes.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
more athletes. That they're like football guys and stuff. They'll be like, oh, I used to like do that around like in the football. I feel like I could do that around the bull
Yeah.
type of thing. And they like want to do it, you know, and it's pretty cool. Like guys, there are more competitions coming, you know, making you step your game up type of thing.
Yeah, and we're seeing that in all the rough stock sports, especially guys that did not grow up in rodeo,
Yeah,
were really, really athletic and played combat sports or competitive sports or contact sports, and all of a sudden they're like, dude, that looks legit. And they show up and they have the athletic ability, so it doesn't take them that long to pick it up.
pick it up. Yeah,
How much of it is like, I don't know what you call like bull savvy, because like we've been, yeah, knowing a bull and being able
yeah,
to read cattle,
yeah,
because I've been studying on how can we train our bullfighters better, right? And so how can we test these attributes that a bullfighter needs to win a freestyle bullfight? So much of it I feel like is really untestable because it's just your
yeah,
your
yeah.
knowledge and your understanding of being able to read cattle. And so how much of that do you feel like it plays in, because these athletes that played football, they've never really been
Been
maybe around
around
cattle,
cattle.
and now they're trying to be bullfighters. Like does that play a big role? Like
Yeah,
where's that
I
at?
feel like for sure, like that plays a really big role, because man, I've seen like Knox Dunn and stuff like that. Like I feel like he's one of those guys that he don't even work out throughout the week, but he knows how to read cattle really good, and he'll go out there and put a 90-point bullfight because he knows how to read cattle. So like for me, I'll even go just to some like up there in Laporte and stuff. I'll go to Divino's and like a bunch of stock contractors. I just go to the ranch just to help them move cattle around,
Hmm.
just so I can even like it helps me out like on reading the bull. Like, is he coming? Is he not? Like which way, like which way is the strong side? Like I pay attention to even like the horns. Like you usually see what horn is more dual, and that's his strong side. Like for the freestyling bulls, I pay attention to that stuff too. So I'm like, oh, so this is his strong side. So this side, I'm gonna throw a bigger fake, and he'll take even more. It'll look even more badass, because once he misses you, he's gonna be trying to swing a whole baseball bat at you. You know what I mean? And I pay attention to all that. Like, and it's just so crazy, so
Yeah.
mind blowing. Like that, yeah, you really need to read the cattle like you're reading a book.
That right there is so important to hear for anybody that watches the sport and maybe doesn't quite understand what's happening. Being able to read the animal, like how you just went into detail about why you're faking harder to one side because of the reaction that's going to happen on the flip side.
Yeah,
Dude, that's like you're a pro, you're a master at your game. Like you know how to read cattle. And we say that with horses too. Like being a horseman is 50% of being a bareback or saddle bronc rider. You got to know how to read these animals, calm them down, work with them, and
yeah,
not work against them, because you're never going to win working against them, right? Same thing with you, dancing partner. Like you've got to be able to show this bull off the best you can, and being able to notice things like that is, I mean,
huge.
astronomically huge. Is there a part of like this is a silly question, but a lot of times with bucking horses, they have a side, a delivery that they prefer.
Yeah,
Obviously, at a freestyle bullfight, they come straight at you. But do you notice? You talked about the horns. Okay, so one might be
yeah.
a little bit more prominent than the other. Okay, that's probably a strong side. Do you notice the same thing in
With
like
the
maybe
lead.
the way that yeah, their lead, like
Yeah,
so they have a preference and that plays a role as well?
yeah, so like even like usually a lot you even see with their lead ones, they like come firing out. Like they're even like their strong side, because that's the first side they come out with. Like they like usually fighting bulls come out, it's kind of like crooked at first, and then they come out straight. That's like the lead. That's like how they're starting already off the bullfight. So you already see the lead coming. So usually I read that too right off the get go. So that's how I throw my first fake, and that's how I'm starting my bullfight off the get go. Because a lot of people are like, "Hey, how do you know what fake to throw first? Do you just like pick a side and then you just go off like that?" And I'm like, "No, I see how the bull is coming out, and that will tell you which way to go." Because usually my strong is my right side fake is my strong side, but I'll see a bull sometimes the other side, and I have to throw it, and it looks way better too, like compared to the right side because that's its lead. Like I'm telling you, he's gonna bite strong into his like strong side.
That's super, super cool to hear too. So, do you ever put a game plan like going into one? Like you know the bull,
Mhm.
you quote unquote know what he's gonna do. In the horse riding, we always say like just stick to the basics because an animal can be an animal and it can do something completely different. You could be planning for it to stall out and then it doesn't and it ends up yanking your face off. In the bullfighting, are you mentally being like, he's gonna move left, I'm moving this way, or are you just 100% reaction based?
I'm 100% reaction based. Like in my head, the only thing I'm thinking of is fight him in the middle, stay away from the fence. Fight him in the middle, stay away from the fence. Mostly maybe because that
That's
bull that got me almost killed me on the fence. So like I just try to stay away from the fence.
Oh, dude, that's it though. That is so important. You kept it simple. Like we'd say in the horse riding, lift on your rig and set your feet.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
That's it. You start doing more than that, it gets way too complicated
Yeah,
and
you
you can't
start
do it.
overthinking, and then you that because I remember when I started, I was like, "Oh, look, there's a fence. Oh, look, there's over here," and
Yeah.
it was like, "Oh man, where do I go?" Like type of thing. Like now, I just freaking even throw a back fake out against the fence, and I pretend it's not even there, and I'll get back myself right back in the middle, get away from that fence.
That's so cool. And it's life too, right? It's
Yeah,
business.
yeah,
We get
yeah.
so distracted with all the things that we could do or all that. And you know what? It comes back to the basics. It's always the basics. It's
Yes.
always the fundamentals. Do the thing really well, just simple.
What happens if you do get in that spot though? What if you're not in the middle and you are against the fence? How do you
Usually when I'm the one that's against the fence, sometimes I might even give him like a little space back, and then he'll usually I'm not in his bubble no more, and he'll kind of fade away and let me get back in the middle.
Mhm.
Or sometimes like if I know I got like a corner beat, I'll pick that side and I'll start making rounds that way and slowly start getting myself hopefully
giving
back
your
in the
space?
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many things to think about that you just don't understand. Like,
Yeah, and I don't even think about it in there. I'm more just like, all right, go, go, like type of thing. Because if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
if
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
about it, if I
Yeah.
think about it, I'll be like, oh
Yeah.
shit, like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'll be
Yeah.
stuttering and stuff. Yeah, no.
These are the hard things. This has been such an enlightening conversation for me as a coach because these are the things that it's impossible for us to know having never stepped around one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like there's so much that we can understand about the biomechanics of what you need to be able to do as a bullfighter, but so much of it is the mental aspect. And until you step around one and you look one eye to
y-
eye and
yeah,
you've got to make a move, it's impossible to know what it's like. And so
exactly.
it's so helpful for us as coaches that want to help our bullfighters to be able to pick your brain, to be able to figure out what do you do in that situation. I had no idea that the way that a bull leaves the chute in a bullfight actually matters.
Yeah,
And you're going to make a decision based off of that. Like, okay, I've grown as a coach today because of the time that you've taken to explain those kind of things. And it's essential for us as coaches to grow in understanding the
the
sport
sport. Yeah,
as an athlete understands the sport.
yeah. I'll teach you guys the bullfight. You guys keep teaching me my ways with the training,
hey,
huh?
easy, fair trade, super easy trade. It's really awesome to hear, man, just what goes into being a professional bullfighter. I want to go back to what we were talking about a little bit ago with the athletes coming into bullfighting that necessarily were not ever in rodeo, that are just getting into it. In the rough stock riding, well, any event, there's schools, there's places
Yeah,
you can go to learn, right? In our experience, I have found that all schools are not created equal. And I can imagine in an event like that, it's very true because the margin for error is much smaller than it is even in the rough
yeah,
stock riding, right? Like you're gonna get wrecked out at some point, and especially learning that sport, you're definitely gonna get wrecked out. It's just gonna happen.
yeah.
So, what would you recommend or tell a guy that wanted to go learn how to do this?
Man, I would tell him honestly to go to Cody Webster bullfighting
Amen.
school. Bull
Amen.
school, I was like, that's the spot to go. And then once you get your whole fundamentals right, then maybe go to bullfighters only camp, and then that will open the doors. But definitely go to Webster's Ranch. That's the
Yeah.
place to be, and that's the place to learn everything fundamentally broken up. And he's a man.
Agreed. I think if you ask any bullfighter out there, they would tell you to go to the bull school. If you guys are listening, you're interested in being a bullfighter, never done it before, check out Cody Webster's Bull School. I know he's got a YouTube channel that shows everything they do at those schools. He's hosting 2 or 3 of them a year, and they're all at his ranch. They have handpicked all the cattle. They know bull riding or bullfighting better than bullfighters do. Yeah, they are the elite when it comes to that. Man, when we wrap this up, I always ask our guests one question, and we want to know what your legacy is, man. What do you want to be known for, leave behind for the sport, maybe your family, like all of the above? What are you striving to be?
Oh man, I want to be just in someone's eye, just like how mostly like my like kids superhero. That's my main thing, you know. Like that's like what I want to leave. Like just make sure I want to be a role model for my kids. That's the main thing. And then mostly like for me, the main thing also like leaving here was opening doors for other people. Like Mexico side. Like a lot of people don't get opportunities not being from California. I'm in California from the whole United States. Like and
Yeah,
yeah, I feel like that was my main thing is opening doors and just showing people that sky's the limit. You can never give up.
never give up. Keep working, man.
Yes,
We
sir.
we really appreciate you coming on, man. We wish you the best of luck tomorrow. Your first fight, we'll be watching. It starts at 1:30, is that correct?
1:30, yes, sir.
1:30 p.m. right here. Got to thank our sponsors, Beastmaster Rodeo, been with us since day one. You guys need any rough stock, any rodeo gear at all, check out beastmasterrodeo.com. Use our discount code Champion Living, all one word, caps lock, gonna save you 10%. And we got to thank Hui for having us out here, for putting on this incredible event. You can get your Hui at getyourhui.com and use our discount code Champion Living, all one word. Gonna save you 10% on all your Hui gear. Until tomorrow, we'll catch you later.